Hey everybody, Derick Van Ness here, investor, wealth strategist, and life adventurer. And I got something for you today that's gonna blow your mind. And that is, how do you buy or build uncommon assets, right? And by the end of this video, you're gonna know about some assets that you may not have considered to add to your portfolio to really help you to step up your game. And long-term, these can make such a big difference for you in creating a life that you love. Now, let me just tell you, I was introduced to this idea by a good friend of mine years and years and years ago, right? While everybody else was buying real estate or gold and silver or life insurance or some of these other things that can be assets and create income streams for you down the road, he was investing in other types of assets. And I'll get into some of those in just a minute here. But over time, like at first, it seemed like a lot of work in for not that much out, which is kind of how it goes, right? If you think about a real estate property that you're going to rent out, you make a down payment, you have to pay the mortgage for a couple months till you get a renter in there. Maybe you have to fix the house up. You got to pay property taxes, repairs. Most people in rental properties are negative for the first 5 years. Even if they're making cash flow, it takes a long time to make back the money you put in. So when I started thinking about these kinds of things, I was like, hey, these other types of assets that I can build or I can buy are absolutely incredible. So let's talk about a couple of examples. The first one may not seem that exciting, but if you couple it with a couple other things, it's fantastic. And that is having your own website that talks about things that are important to you, right? Now, this could be a business website. This could be a side hustle website. But the main thing about having a website is it gives you a portal to interact with the world. So think of a website as like a storefront. But here's the thing, to buy a normal storefront, you're paying thousands of dollars per month. Guess what a website costs? It costs the price of hosting and maybe domain registration. I mean, we're talking less than $100 a year to have a website that's up and operational and functional. What can you do with a website? Well, that's where you can leverage a lot of these other types of assets. Let me give you an example. This is a book that I wrote that sells on Amazon. It's on salesmanship, ethical salesmanship, and how you can make a lot more sales and do a lot more good for your clients simply by doing the right thing for them. This is an asset. I get paid on this every single month. I wrote this book back in 2014, and it's not like I've made millions of dollars, but it's an income stream consistently that's happened forever. I have affiliate links on my website for things that I believe in, things that I talk about, things that I share. I get paid on those every single month. I have another book that I get paid on every single month, right? The website allows me to have a portal to share things that I think are important, whether those are my business or my personal or whatever, and turn those into a long-term revenue stream. Here's what makes them an incredible asset. You do the work once, you get paid over and over and over. And you're gonna see that that's a theme to what I'm talking about here with different kinds of assets. So the second asset that I wanna talk about that I think is absolutely vital, and you're gonna get it because you're watching this video, is a YouTube channel. I cannot overstate how valuable I think your ability to communicate with people that you care about or clients through video is. Listen, I wasn't super excited about starting a YouTube channel in the sense that I wasn't used to getting on video. I love people, I love talking to people, I love meeting with people, but the idea of talking to a camera was really intimidating. It was really hard for me, and it's taken quite a while to get used to it, right? But a YouTube channel is something where I can put ideas out there, I can give real good advice, I can help people. I do it once, and hundreds or thousands or maybe millions at some point will have watched that video. If I'm doing things that can help grow my business, if I'm selling products, if I'm giving advice that can bring people into my audience and help me, this can work for the rest of my life. Theoretically, this video you're watching will be up for as long as the internet exists, and I can continue to use it to build an audience, share ideas, create value, and potentially turn that into revenue somewhere down the road. Once it starts creating revenue, it will do that forever, right? How many assets can you do and build for free? Because literally a YouTube channel costs nothing but your time and maybe a little bit of equipment up front, but quite frankly, you can do it with a smartphone these days. But it literally costs nothing but your time and can pay you for the rest of your life, right? I truly believe that YouTube is merging with television right now. A lot more people are coming online for their content. I mean, we already see it with Netflix and Hulu and everything, but people are literally building their own massive channels online with YouTube. And all you have to do is share about things that you're passionate about. Be a little bit strategic, but a YouTube channel, if you already have a business, if you already have a passion, if you already have a group of people that you're serious about, a YouTube channel is a no-brainer asset for you to make sure that you bring into your portfolio. Is it going to happen overnight? No. Neither does any other business in the world, any rental property, anything. They all take time and effort. YouTube's the same thing. Now, before I move on to number 3, and you're going to love the third one, I want to say, if you're getting value from this, be sure to hit the like button. If you aren't already a subscriber, why not? Reach down below, hit the subscribe button, and let us know in the comments. Let me know, hey, I subscribed. Just make that comment. I'll be sure to welcome you in, make sure that you get what you need. If you have questions about these assets and how they work, be sure to ask them. I love to answer questions, engage with people, and see how I can help you take a lot of these assets that I'm building and working on and bring them into your life. Now, let's talk about the third asset. And this one's absolutely huge. And it is a podcast. Now, why do I say a podcast, and why is that different than a YouTube channel? A podcast is a place where you can share your thoughts, you can do interviews, you can do all kinds of different formats. But the really neat thing about a podcast, just like a YouTube channel, is once you create the content, it's out there forever. People can do it over and over and over. Joe Rogan has some episodes that have been viewed. I think the most I've seen is 12 or 15 million times. So he spent 3 hours making that content, and now it's going out to millions and millions and millions of people. The same thing with the podcast, but here's what makes podcasts special. Videos, you have to sit down and watch a video. Podcasts you can listen to when you're getting ready in the morning, when you're in your car, when you're working out, when you're taking care of your kids, while you're waiting somewhere in line. Podcasts are so accessible to people on the go, right? When I lived in New York City, I wasn't having streaming stuff so that I could watch videos while I was on the subway. So at the time, I would download podcasts and listen to them on my subway rides. I went through tons and tons and tons of podcasts in the couple of years that I lived there. So many people are consuming content on podcasts because you can do it while you're doing other things in your life. And the neat thing about a podcast is it's an incredible way to connect with and create relationships. And you could think of each relationship as its own asset, right? But once again, you do it once, you can get paid for it over and over and over again. So I think it's absolutely essential that you consider having a podcast. If you're serious about your business, your audience, a passion, something you want to be a contributor for, podcasts are something that will pay and be an asset out there for the rest of your life. Now, as a bonus, because we've talked about video and we've talked about audio, the third one would be the written word, and your website could be that. But I also want to put a shout out here for medium.com and other similar types of sites where you can blog and put content out there for other people to read. I have a Medium channel right now. I think it's under Big Life Financial. You can look me up if you want. But the reality is we put out, I've been sporadic, but over the last year and a half, I've put out about 30 articles, and I make a good chunk of money every single month just from those things continuing to get read over and over and over. At this point, my biggest article I think has been read coming up on 9,000 times. So a lot of volume there, right? I didn't have to promote it and do all this other stuff. I just wrote a really good article and I left that up to them. It continues to produce revenue for me every single month. And in conjunction with my business, we have an opt-in at the bottom of the Medium page. So it produces leads for me every single month for my primary business with helping people with, financial and tax strategy, building a life they love, and all that stuff. So if you haven't added these 3 or 4 assets into your portfolio, I think it's time you do it, right? You need a really good website that's going to allow you to create revenue for your courses, your books, other things that you want to promote, even affiliate links. You want to have a YouTube channel. I think if you could only do one of these, that's the one I would do. And the third thing that you can do is have a podcast. If you have these, once they exist, unless you take them down, they're there forever. Anyway, these are some unconventional things, unconventional assets you can add to your portfolio that I believe are only going to increase in value as time goes on, as long as you continue to grow them and put time into them. So if you like that information, give us a like, subscribe, comment below, ask us questions, let me know how I can help you, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks a lot.